Welcome to lesson 6.4, page 234 from your big ideas. Again on percents. Today we're going to use the percent equation. So similar to the percent proportion, but now we're going to write an equation that we can use to solve the three types of percent problems that we talked about before, the part, the whole, the percent. But this time we're going to write an equation. Some of you might find that this is a real fun and easy way to do it versus the proportion, or maybe after learning this one, you decide that I'm going to use the proportion every time. It makes no difference. Our essential question, how can you use an equivalent form of the percent proportion to solve percent problems? So we're going to write an equivalent form in the guise of an equation that we can use to solve percent problems. So at the top of page 234, you should have written some notes. And again, you probably wrote something like this. A equals PW, and you said A is the part. You said that P is the percent. You need it as a decimal. And that W is the whole. Let's talk about how we got there. Let's talk about how this is an equivalent form of the percent proportion. So we have our template. We have our percent proportion template right here. And we have things like the part A. We have things like the of W. And we have the percent P. All right? So if we do our cross products, what do we have right here? We have percent times our whole. And we're making that equal to, our A times our 100, right? And you're thinking, well, where's 100? Well, we dropped it off. We got rid of the 100. We got rid of that because we're writing our percent now, our percent as a decimal. We're not writing it as a fraction because it's no longer in the percent proportion. So our A is equal to our percent times our whole when our percent is written as a decimal. Now this certainly translates to our words. So that would be is, or A, equal to our percent as a decimal, whatever variable you want to use for percent, times our whole of. Okay? So it works out just the same. Let's do it. Right here it says, finding a part of a number. Again, it's one of the 3% things, types of percents we can find, one of our 3% problems. Finding 6% of 525. So remember, you can't write a template this time. You just got to know A equals PW. Okay, A equals PW. And 6%, well, 6% as a decimal goes right here. 0.06 of 525. Well, we can just put 525, and that's going to equal our part, our number. And so when you multiply those together, of course, using a calculator, A equals 31.5. So 31.5 is 6% of 525. Easy stuff. Some people might find that faster, especially when we're using calculators. Moving on. What is 40% of 90? Again, what is? All right, so that's my variable, A. My X, well, whatever you want to call it. 40% as a decimal, 0.4. Times 90 of our whole, okay? A equals percent W, or WP. It makes no difference which order you put them in. You can write them in either order. A equals WP, A equals PW, whatever you want to choose. That's alphabetical order right here. It's easier to remember. Of course, when you multiply that, you're going to get, well, this is 90, not 9. That's 90. So you're going to get 36. 36 is 40% of 90. Pretty easy stuff. Find the percent. All right. So this time, A equals percent whole, A equals PW. And what percent? Well, we don't know. That's my variable, P. Of 90, well, 90 is my W. So I'm writing them this way because I like to write my variable last. And then 36 is. Well, we just figured this out a second ago. We said 36 was what percent of 90? Oh, there you go. So when I take this and I divide by 90, 90 on both sides, 36 divided by 90 is 40. So 40 equals P, so it's 40%. One more time. 360 is what percent of 270? A equals PW. Okay? But remember, P and W are interchangeable. So 360 is what percent of 270? 270 times P. My whole is 270, my percent P. Dividing by 270 to solve this equation, 360 divided by 270 gives me 1.3 repeating. So that's 133.3 repeating percent. Okay? Got to write that decimal as a percent. Okay? That ends the first video. Wow, this was fast. The percent equation is pretty dang darn easy. It's just knowing where to put stuff. The percent equation is over of equals percent over 100. Here's the percent equation. Is equals percent of. There you go. 6 is what percent of 3,000? Use the percent equation. Please. I know you can probably use the proportion because we learned it yesterday, but I want you to use the percent equation. Remember, A equals PW. A equals PW. All right? Use that to find these two. 240% of 84. Take a quick break. Come back. Video number 2. Thank you. See you in a few moments.